Hello and welcome to the all-new 2023 Honda CR-V. The CR-V is Honda's best seller, and it's in an extremely competitive segment of vehicles. So for this new sixth generation of the car, Honda has had to go to great lengths to keep it competitive. So in this video, we're going to take an in-depth look at the new CR-V and show you everything you get. This new Honda CR-V is longer and wider than the previous CR-V. It's 2.7 inches longer and 0.4 of an inch wider. And something that you notice right away looking at this car is that it's got a far boxier, more confident stance to it. More hard lines, more upright. Part of this car being more upright is the fact that they've moved these A-pillars 4.7 inches back, so it gives the car a much longer hood. And here at the front of the hood, you can see standard LED headlights, even on this base EX trim. This is the absolute base trim, still comes with LED headlights. Something else that is pretty cool is that these vents on the side, that's not just a styling element, that is functional for aerodynamics. So it's actually an open hole. And we love some functional design elements. Moving further back on the car, you also see sunroof. So again, another standard feature that's added to this base model vehicle, which is a nice thing to have. Now, every trim except for the very top trim runs 18-inch wheels. So the EX, Sport, and EXL models all run 18-inch wheels, although the 18-inch wheels on the Sport are a different finish than what you see here on this EX. If you opt for the top model Sport Touring, then you get a 19-inch wheel. If we move further back, you can see something that really sets this car apart from the previous generation, the redesign on the taillight here. Still has the classic L shape, like all CR-Vs, but you can tell a much more modern style to the taillight. Both Sport and Sport Touring models of the CR-V get a special grille, as well as, pretty cool, these highlighted vents here on the front fascia. And if we walk around to the side, you can see the special 19-inch wheels that come as part of the Sport Touring model. A few other touches to make it look a little bit sportier are black mirror caps as well as black roof rails. So a few more accents to add some contrast into the car, make it look a little bit more sporty to match the name. Around back, as part of that, you also get these exhaust details at the bottom of the bumper. Give it a little bit more of a aggressive look. If you opt for the EX and EXL trims of the CR-V, you will have the same powertrain. It's a 1.5 liter four-cylinder turbo with 190 horsepower and 179 pound-feet of torque and a CVT transmission. And just something that's a little nice for me because we have to open hoods a lot in this line of work, hood struts. Thank you. What's most exciting in the new CR-V is this new hybrid powertrain that you get on Sport and Sport Touring models. This, what you see here, is a top-of-the-line Sport Touring, and it comes with a 2-liter four-cylinder paired to a hybrid powertrain that has 2 electric motors. Total combined output 204 horsepower and 247 pound-feet of torque. Even though we don't have a big hitch sticking out here like a lot of the trucks that we test at TFL, this new hybrid CR-V is rated to tow up to 1,000 pounds. And if you opt for the more standard base model 1.5 liter engine, you're rated to tow 1,500 pounds. Something else with these CR-Vs is that on all models, all-wheel drive is an option. And new with this all-wheel drive system for the 6th generation is a snow mode as well as hill descent control. This new all-wheel drive system is capable of sending up to 50% power to the rear. And if you get a Sport or Sport Touring model with the hybrid powertrain, you also get a Sport setting. Now here on the driver's side, this exhaust port is unfortunately fake. It's filled in here with plastic. But on the other side, the exhaust does actually point through the opening. Now, funny enough, on the Sport Touring model over there that has big emphasized exhaust ports on both sides of the car, well, only one of them is real because the exhaust is only on one side. But on this 1.5 liter model, you can see it actually has dual exhaust. It's got 2 tips, even though they're tucked below the bumper. Let's take a look at the interior on this base model EX CR-V. Immediately you notice that It's more utilitarian, simple materials. This is not a fancy leather-wrapped steering wheel, but there still are nice elements. The dashboard is relatively soft touch, and then your switchgear, still really good. A lot of these buttons and dials have a nice tactile feel, and the overall design is pretty good. You get this same honeycomb vent design that is now in the HR-V and the Civic. It continues all the way across the dash, gives it a nice minimalist, cohesive look. I think that's a great styling element that Honda is employing. And you get some textured trim materials here, so it gives it just a little bit nicer of a feel than a simply colorful plastic. And then the other thing that you get a lot of on even this base model is tech. So a standard 7-inch infotainment screen that comes with CarPlay and Android Auto. You also get a standard 7-inch infotainment screen here on the left, so your speedometer on the right is a real physical dial, and then it's a screen on the left. It's a little odd to see those two things side by side, but it does let you switch around some of the information that's displayed to you on the screen. Every model of the new CR-V also comes standard with Honda Sensing, and that gets you adaptive cruise control, lane keep assist, blind spot monitoring, traffic jam assist, a ton of features, as well as updated airbag designs in this interior that give you a lot of extra safety. So the driver's airbag is donut shaped, which is a better design for keeping your head in place. It's a similar thing on the passenger side. You have a 3-chamber airbag design with a similar effect to it. Also knee airbags, side impact airbags for the rear seats, a ton of safety that's built into this car to keep it competitive. In the back seat, this new generation of the CR-V has extra leg room. Because the wheelbase is longer, you get 0.6 of an inch more. So sitting behind where my front seat would be set, you can see I've got plenty of space for my knees. I'm only about 5'10", so pretty average height, not like some of the guys at our office. But even so, if your legs were a lot longer than mine, you'd still be good. And then for headroom, really not bad. I have a couple inches extra here. Something else that makes this back seat a lot more livable is the fact that you have vents for your rear seat passengers. So you're not going to be back here just cooking in the summer heat. You actually have your own ventilation, and if you want to get super comfortable, these rear seats recline, and that's a big plus. In the trunk of the CR-V, you have between 36.3 and 39.3 cubic feet of space. The difference is which powertrain you choose. So if you get the 1.5 liter base model, like this EX that we're looking at now, you can drop the cargo floor slightly lower than you can in the hybrid to fit just a few extra things. And if we throw forward the 60/40 folding rear seats, you get a total of 76.5 cubic feet of space. Now this is a solid amount of space back here, but one thing that I do wish, I wish that this was a flat load floor. There's a solid hump coming up towards the rear seats when they're folded down, so it's not very flat. Underneath the load floor, you do get a spare tire, although it is just a compact spare tire. You still get one, which is becoming less and less common. Let's take a look at the interior on this absolute top-of-the-line sport touring model. The first thing that you notice is the materials are much better. Your steering wheel, much better materials, as well as some orange stitching. You also get orange stitching on your shifter. You get it on the center console. You get it on the seats. So better materials, better look overall, and a lot more tech. Both the EXL and the Sport Touring versions of the CR-V get leather upholstery. They get this bigger 9-inch infotainment screen with wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. They also get a Qi wireless charger. And then if you upgrade to the Sport Touring, you get a 12-speaker Bose audio system that is not available on any other trim, which I think is a missed opportunity because who doesn't like a good audio system? But if you want those better Bose speakers, you have to get this Sport Touring model. And this is definitely a nicer place to sit. You have some piano black around your trim. I'm actually generally a fan of cloth seats. I like the fact that they don't sear your thighs like a tuna steak in the summer when you're wearing shorts, but these leather seats have a much nicer feel to them. So overall, this interior, just a better place to be. Better looking trim, piano black. It's a much nicer interior. The back seat of the Sport Touring has something nice that you don't get on that base model over there, and that is 2 USB-C chargers, so that not only do you have ventilation, but you can even charge up your devices in the back seat. There is a door pocket behind the passenger seat, but not behind the driver's seat. So a little bit of cost cutting there. And then, like the base model, you get an armrest with some cup holders, but everything back here is trimmed in a nicer fabric. The Sport Touring also has a power liftgate. Something to keep in mind with the trunk of this hybrid model is that not only do you have a little bit less storage, you also don't have a spare tire under here. Honda has yet to reveal pricing on the new CR-V, but the previous generation started around $26,800, and these are going to become available starting this summer, although if you want a hybrid version like what you see on my left, that's not going to be available until later this year. Now keep your eyes peeled for the full review coming on the new CR-V soon, including driving, and be sure to head over to alltfl.com where you can see our coverage on trucks, cars, motorcycles, anything with wheels and an engine. That's all for this video. Let us know what you think in the comments down below, and we'll see you in the next one.